Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Bobby Atkins here. It is Monday, March 18th. It's about 4:30 p.m. here in Chicago, and I thought I would put out a quick just TA on Bitcoin and maybe get through a few other altcoins. Just providing some additional content, intra-week on this channel. Obviously, Paul and Brian and myself, we get together on a weekly basis and provide all the, curated news and TA from that standpoint. But I think it's a good idea to, obviously update this channel intra-week, and I think that's something that the three of us are going to try to do individually. Throughout the week when schedules allow. So expect there to be additional content on this channel going forward. So let's get right to the TA because I don't have a whole lot of time, but I wanted to at least provide some direction on kind of what to look out for from a support and resistance perspective. More kind of um, immediate targets to look for. And so, ever since we did break out on this candle here on Bitcoin a couple of days ago, we've seen some resistance, right? Obviously on at $4,000. So, that's kind of the intermediate or immediate resistance level right now. Now, according to our PSAR indicator, the trend is still negative, right? You can see the negative downtrend here. So once we break out of 4,000 and get to, more interesting resistances up above, you're going to see that PSAR indicator start to print green dots. And, that's going to signal momentum, bullish momentum is picking up on the bull side, right? And so this is what I foresee kind of seeing how things are going to be playing out over the next week or two is that we're going to trade kind of sideways, reconfirming the 618 Fibonacci extension here, $3,920 as support. That's very critical that we do that and that we don't break down to the downside, because if we break below 3,920, I see us kind of retracing back to these lower Fibonacci levels again. um, anywhere from 3,620 to 3,800 bucks is kind of the um, support zone. Hopefully, if we do break below that $3,920 level. Now, what I would preferably would rather see is that we trade sideways, holding this area of the chart as support, and then getting ready for the next bullish impulse wave, which should carry us to 4,140. We'll probably find that as resistance, trade sideways for a little bit, and then break up above to 4,400, find that as resistance, and trade sideways a bit. So I see the things kind of being this kind of stair stepping, trading pattern, not just a parabolic move to $6,000. I think it's going to be this slow kind of grind, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. When you think about uh, long-term trends and how we want to build that kind of recovery phase, is the slow grind, you know, up, confirming big chunks of the chart as bull support is more ideal than just a parabolic move to $6,000 and not really confirming any supports along the way. And the bears will have a higher, statistical chance to then really break down the market in a violent manner if we were to, just move up quickly, right? And so this kind of rounding bottom recovery that we're seeing in Bitcoin is not necessarily a bad thing, even though it's testing the patience on both sides, the bulls and the bears. It's showing, maturity. It's showing, um, you know, that that the bulls are claiming certain areas of the chart, okay, as support, and that's a good thing. So that's kind of what I'm seeing in just the near term. Okay, so just to recap real quick, I want to see 3,920 hold as support going forward. If we do a candle wick down below, and then move back above, that's perfectly fine with me. But I don't want to see any daily or weekly candle closes below 3,920. If we do that, expect the price action to get bearish, retesting 3,600 to 3,800 bucks, somewhere around there. And as near-term supports. If we break below, again, 3,600, expect a retest of the 200-week moving average at 3,400, and that is our last line of defense from the bull standpoint. All right, let's take a look at Ethereum really quick. Ethereum has unfortunately dropped back into the kind of the dumb zone again, as you can see here. I am classifying the dumb zone of Ethereum between $125, which is the 618 retracement from this candle high here, from that candle high. So $125 to $140, it's kind of the dumb zone for Ethereum. It's it's a sideways market. It's not trending in any one direction, so it's very difficult to trade. So you have to be a really experienced trader to profit from this sort of price action. So if you're not currently long in Ethereum, you want to wait for $140 for Ethereum to break above $140, confirm this as support, and then that could be a possible buy and entry. But you have to be patient. You have to wait for at least a daily candle close before you do a trade like that, and make sure you have stops in place as well. So above 140, you want to see 150 be tested. That could be an area of resistance on the chart. So you could see Ethereum break to 150, trade sideways for a little while before the next leg up to 165. So that's kind of how I'm seeing the Ethereum chart from a resistance standpoint. So there isn't a whole lot of resistance from 140 to 165, to be honest. I mean, even if I pull in like the 200 day moving average, for example, is at 158. So, the way these altcoins move, if Bitcoin does reactivate bullish, I would not be surprised to see Ethereum, testing 165 levels, at some point. But it's a matter of just being kind of patient, letting the market play out. Now, on the downside, this is where it gets a little bit scary, right? 125 needs to hold as support. You can have a single kind of candle wick down, but you want to see the bulls buying that price action back up, and 125 holding as support. Below that is 114, and then below that is 100, and below that is 80. So long story short is, if $114 breaks, so let's say if Bitcoin makes a really bad reversal, $114 breaks, I would get out of the market, because expect $100 to be retested, and then below $100 it's going to 80 bucks for sure. So that's kind of the way I'm looking at the Ethereum chart, from a support and resistance level. So let's look at Litecoin real quick. Litecoin's been in this really nice ascending channel for a long time now. Now, I do not hold Litecoin. So it's been in this ascending channel since the beginning of December, okay? Now, for me as a buyer, I would want to see some of these lower supports being tested, and that might be some good buy-in points for me. So I'm looking at anywhere from 44, which is the 200-day moving average, to possibly around the $50, somewhere around there, as possible buy-in zones. Preferably, I'd be in that $44 to $46 range, but I don't know if I'm going to get that price, to be honest. Litecoin has just been on fire, so it would take a massive downside move in Bitcoin for us to see a $44 Litecoin price, obviously, right? But again, just like any other altcoin, Litecoin's been on this really nice Elliott kind of wave pattern right now. It's in its third wave, and it will retrace at some point on a fourth wave. We just don't know when that's going to happen, and that's really going to kind of be determined on what Bitcoin decides to do. So each one of these EMAs is going to be nice support for Litecoin, just because it's so strong. So I have the 8-day, because we're looking at the daily chart. 8-day, 13-day is the blue, and the 21-day is the black. And then this is the 200-day moving average here. I'm sorry, this is the 34 moving EMA, and then this is the 200 day moving average here. You have all the moving average lines, which will act as support for Litecoin. And I would, as a buyer, again, I'd want to see kind of the center line of the trend line of the ascending channel be tested all the way down to the 200-day moving average as possible buy-in zones, and that's where you want to see as a Litecoin bull those hold as supports. You do not want to see Litecoin break below its bottom part of its ascending channel, because there's a lot of error from 46 bucks, let's call it, down to $32, then back down to $22. I mean, that's just the way these altcoins have moved. And the thing is, it's like altcoins do a great job getting pumped, right? But they don't do a great job confirming supports on the way down, especially when things get pretty violent. So yeah, I mean, if you bought Litecoin in between 22 to $32, you know, good on you, smart. But this isn't a terrible time to take a little bit of profits off the table. If you are trading, maybe taking a little bit off the table just to bring down your kind of average cost, and or if you don't want to sell for whatever reason, even a little bit, maybe think about bringing your stops up to more profitable zones, and stagger your stops in such a way so that you're not just getting stopped out at one time, right? So stagger them kind of on the way down, so you're making money, but you're also holding key positions out there as well. So that's the way I would play the Litecoin, and that's kind of where I'm seeing resistance again. We're seeing resistance at around 60 bucks, and so I'm expecting some of these moving averages to be tested as critical supports on the way down. So let's see if we have time for another one. Maybe we can do XRP really quick, since I'm long on that as well. So XRP has been a frustrating one for me. I bought in around 30 cents, and I think it's, people hate the project, or you either love it or hate it. And I'm not really in love with it, and I don't hate it. I don't really care if it's considered a centralized coin or not. I think fundamentally it has a lot going for it, in terms of adoption and institutional partnerships and where it's kind of heading, into the future. Now, technically, though, it's been frustrating because it hasn't fully kind of capitalized on that fundamental outlook, but also on the technical picture. It's in this kind of bullish ascending triangle that you can see here, and it has a target price of near 39 cents. And for whatever reason, the XRP bulls have not stepped in. There just hasn't been the demand to test the top of this ascending channel on this latest Bitcoin move, which I was kind of expecting, to be honest. So I was expecting 33 cents to be tested on this last Bitcoin move, and it didn't even get close. It didn't even get to 32 cents. So, or it got to 32 cents for like 3 hours, and then it just got rejected. So that's been pretty disappointing on that front. So again, I want to see the top of this triangle get tested again at 33 cents. On a breakout above 33, I think it's going to be pretty smooth sailing all the way to near 38 to 39 cents for XRP, and that'd be about a 20% move from the top of that ascending triangle. Now below that supports, I want to see obviously this trend line hold here. So currently we're looking right around just over 30 cents to hold, which is my break even price. So I'm keeping stops just below, right at just a little over, like basically at 29 cents. That's where I'm keeping my stop right now. Below 29 cents, I see a lot of error all the way back down to, just under 28 cents, 27 to 28 cents, possibly even getting down to 25 cents if Bitcoin were to really kind of break down. So again, resistances, I'm seeing 32 cents, above that 33 cents. If we break above 33, I see smooth sailing all the way to 38 to 39 cents, which would be a 20%, move from the top of the triangle there. Below that, I want to see 30.5 cents hold. Below that, 27, 28 cents, and then below that, 25 cents. So it's kind of where I'm seeing XRP. I'm still betting that, we're going to see a break to the upside because I'm also bullish bias on Bitcoin. But anyway, that's kind of all I wanted to put out there right now. So just a quick update, just a quick Bitcoin support resistance update. We went through Ethereum, Litecoin, XRP. And if you guys are wanting to see other projects be, for us to provide any curated news or technical analysis, always hit us up on Twitter or, hit us up in the comment section as well. We read all of them, and we're gonna aim to put out more content on this channel on a weekly basis. And we are scheduled to do our next group call on Thursday, I believe. So I just need to nail down the time of when that's going to happen. So look out for a tweet on that, and we'll go from there. Anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.